Hey guys, so I'm just gonna talk about some reasons why I absolutely, utterly hate being Korean. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this applies to all Korean people or anything, but I'm just saying this from my personal experience. I love Korean culture, I love Korean food, of course, but there's some things you just hate about being your own race, and I'm just gonna go over those things right now. So, reasons why I hate being Korean. First, guys, I'm about 5'1" or 5 feet and half an inch. I just like to add the half an inch because, I'm pretty short, but if you're 110 pounds, you're considered fat. And and don't get me wrong. I mean, of course I've kind of gotten used to that. So like I think I'm fat too, and I feel heavier if I gain a little bit of weight, and I just hate it. But why am I considered fat? I mean, last time I checked, being fat was like being 150 pounds and being like 5'1". When did being 110 pounds be considered fat? I think I think girls who have a little bit fat are considered. I think I consider them really pretty. I mean, just because I'm a girl, but I mean like these like Korean ajumas, which are like middle-aged Korean ladies, which are like from their mid-30s to like their mid-50s. They generally come up to me and they're like, "You're so fat and chubby. Did you know that you got fat recently?" And I'm like, "Bitch, do you even know me? Like, you don't even know me. Like, what right does that give you to tell someone else that they're fat? Really? Like, you don't even know me and you're calling me fat." And I just hate this bluntness. I mean, yeah, if you think they're fat, then that's your problem, but you don't have to come up to people and tell them that they're fat. And I don't even consider myself fat. I consider myself, yeah, I'm average, but like according to Korean standards, I guess I'm not that average. And I hate how Korean people are constantly. I don't know if this is to all Koreans, but they're constantly judging like what you look like from your back. So like, if I'm not carrying a designer bag, I'm considered poor, or if I'm just kind of badly that day, I'm considered dirty. So that's what Korean people are like. They judge you based on what you wear, and they think you're fat. If you're 110 pounds and you're like my height. And what I consider hate being Korean is because you're always compared to other Korean kids. So I was little and I used to play piano because all Asian kids play piano, but but if I didn't play well that day, my mom would be like, "Why can't you play as good as that kid? That kid plays better than you." And I'm like, "Mom, I'm not even gonna be a pianist. I'm not even a genius pianist. So why do I have to care essentially?" Another reason why I hate being Korean is because college is everything. Your life revolves around college. Everything's around college, and it's never about letting out your personality or doing what you love. It's do a job that gives you money, and college is everything essentially. And if you don't go to college, you're fucked. That's your life. I mean, why? There's so many more things to life than college. Like if my life was around college, if I lived in Korea, I think I would have killed myself by now. Like I see all these kids studying for like 12 hours a day, and I'm like, then what's the meaning of your life studying that hard? Like, what's the meaning of life then? I mean, you're studying for like what, 13 hours a day, and then what? Is that it? Is that at the end of your life once you go to college? Is that it? I just didn't understand the point of that. Like, I just didn't see the point of why college has to be everything. Why can't there be more to life than like hanging out with your friends, making memories, and just meeting new people is what life is, and making these like bonds. Why does my life have to revolve around going to good college? I mean, I remember in high school, like I used to take all these AP classes and I used to do all these leadership things, and I just realized that those things were so pointless in the end because like I don't even have good leadership now, and I just realized that college isn't everything. Like, why should I have to revolve my life around college? Essentially, like, as a high school kid, I hated studying. Like, I just absolutely utterly hated it. I didn't try hard in high school. I mean, get me wrong. I mean, I got a 4.0 GPA, a 4.0 GPA still. Don't. Of course, I'm Asian. I mean, of course, but I just didn't see why these Korean kids or these Asian kids essentially struggle to like try so hard. I mean, like, because in the end, your life doesn't revolve around college. I've seen so many people in Korea who have gone to like the Korean Harvard, and they're making as much money as my parents who didn't go to those kinds of colleges essentially. So I don't know. I just didn't see why college was such a big deal. I mean, of course it is a big deal, and nowadays you need to go to college to get a good job. But I just don't see why if you don't go to college, why your life has to revolve around that. Then maybe there's something better to you. Then maybe you have a really nice personality, or maybe you just maybe you got a full scholarship to not so good college. So that's why you're going to that college. So why should I be judged on what college I go to? Why can't my personality just shine? But I don't have a great personality anyway, so. And then another thing I hate about being Korean is that if you crack like somewhat like kind of like a joke that is considered kind of profane in Korean culture, then bam, you just like set the bomb. Your parents are gonna get mad at you. So like I remember like so saw I was gonna be moving, right? And so I told my mom this joke. She was like, "Oh, the closet in this room isn't big enough." And I was like, "Oh, but you know, it's okay. You don't really need that big of a closet. It's not like you have like a bunch of clothes, anyways." And like I was kind of kidding about it. Of course, you need a nice closet. But then my mom just went ballistic. She got so mad. She was like, "What if that person judges me the rest of my life?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I felt bad. I really did. Like I did kind of go a little bit overboard. I felt like with that, but I did feel like she got really mad. But I'm just like, and then I realized like, why does my mom care so much? Like, I was just thinking in the back of my head, I was like, why should she have to care that much? It's not like this person's her eternal friend or anything. The thing I don't understand about Korean culture is that why they have to care about people who don't, why Korean people have to care about people that don't even know, like, judging them. Like, who cares? You don't even know that person. So, I can understand if, like, a person I knew well was judging me, but a person that I don't even know well, why the fuck should I care if they're judging me? Like, essentially. So my mom got super mad. She's like, how am I gonna go out with this person ever again to look at houses? Like that person is what for the person that's like taking me to all these houses, and how am I gonna show my face in front of him anymore? And I'm just thinking like, I felt bad, but I'm just like in the back of my head I was just thinking like, Mom, I don't think he's really going to care that much. That because essentially that was like my joke, so it doesn't. I was just kidding, I was being like a little jokeful, but like who really cares? Like, Mom, you're your own person, and you should be happy with that. So why should you really care? Like, it's not like you're going to meet that person ever again after you stop looking at houses. And you're you, and that person's them, and I'm sure they won't really care that much. They won't really judge it that much, and if they do judge you, then who really cares? I just hate how Korean people are so uptight about like people judging them, because people judge each other, and I know that's true, but you know what? Who cares? Like, I just hate how Korean people are always judging each other, and how Korean people have to be so uptight about it, because that's how their culture is, essentially. And of course, there's like so many perks. So there's good things about Korean culture, but essentially, I hate most of it, and I'm just tired of Korean people, essentially, and I'm just tired of being Korean. And this is why at school I hardly hang out with any Korean people, because I don't know, I just don't like being Korean, essentially, for the most part, anyways. But I guess there's ups and downs to everything. This is just reasons why I hate being Korean. So yeah, why wise.